This is Bugle, Ajuga reptans. This member of the mint family can be seen flowering from April to around midsummer. It's a low growing plant that likes to spread in damp woodlands and especially along paths and woodland clearings. And the flowers grow on these upright stems. The flowers are a blue to mauve colour and the petals are fused to form a tube. The flowers form all around the stem and they're separated by bracts. Like all members of the mint family, Bugle has opposite leaves and a square stem. And also Bugle has a hairy stem, but only on two sides. So two sides are hairy and the other two sides are smooth. The leaves are oval with a rounded tip and they can often have a bronze colouring, especially higher up the plant. This is an early purple orchid, Orchis muscula. As the name suggests, it's one of the first orchids to arrive in spring, usually from around mid-spring. And it's got a tall spike of deep purple flowers, and the stem can sometimes grow up to around 40 centimetres. The leaves at the base are long and thin and they've got round purple marks on them. So there are two main orchids that you'll see this time of year, and it's this one and the green-winged orchid. They look quite similar, but I'll show you the green-winged orchid next. The early purple orchid is a fairly common species of orchid. You'll find it in grasslands and especially along roadside verges. The main features we're looking for though with the early purple orchid is, as I've said, the leaves have these purple markings, and also when we look at the flowers, if we look at the upper lobe, it doesn't have green veins on, which the green-winged orchid does. And here is the green-winged orchid. The green-winged orchid is less common than the early purple orchid. You're only likely to find them on undisturbed grasslands. Surely one of our most undervalued wildflowers has to be the dandelion. I suspect it's because it's so common, we forget how beautiful the flowers are. But I love seeing these in spring and summer. You get golden flushes all across fields and meadows. They're a really important food source for many of our pollinators, and they've got a long growing season from early spring right through till late autumn sometimes, but late April and May is the main time for seeing them. I often hear people referring to these as weeds, which I totally disagree with. I think they're a really lovely wildflower. So this isn't one single flower, it's a flower head made up of many ray florets. So each one of these florets is actually a single flower. These are common bluebells. We have around 50% of the world's population of common bluebells in the UK. This time of year, in April and May, our woodlands are carpeted with these. Common bluebells are a plant that nods over. The flower stem is curved at the top, and the flowers mostly all nod in the same direction. As well as the common bluebell, we also have the invasive Spanish bluebell and hybrids between the two. I've recently done a video on how to tell the difference between the species, so I'll leave a link for that video in the description. In spring, the woodland floors are usually covered in bluebells or wild garlic, or maybe both. This here is wild garlic, and it's one of those plants that you'll often smell before you see. And when you walk through a patch of it, you get a lovely strong garlic smell. The flower heads burst open into these groups of around 25 flowers, which are white with 6 petals each.